Alright, next match on the road to Payback is going up for the Divas Championship. Paige versus my girl, Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox, I have love for you that you'll never know. You are by far my favorite diva on the roster. I think you are the hottest chick, basically, that ever hits my TV screen. And basically, when I met you, what was it, a year ago, at right before SummerSlam when we did the Doritos commercial, I never thought I would see you in a shot to win the Divas Championship again. I thought that Alicia Fox had pretty much been put out to pasture down for the count. Basically, at that point, she was just hosting the, what do they call it? The show that's on after Total Divas. Most of the time I check it out on YouTube. They just go over the greatest hits of the show. They normally have an interview with somebody who's on the show. And it's just like a reactions thing. You see a lot of other reality shows do this on the internet or on TV. Just sort of, to keep those viewers on that TV channel just for a few more minutes and get those revenue dollars pouring in. Alicia Fox is the #1 contender for the Divas Championship. I think that she really does deserve this. A lot of people are standing up, and everybody read the report that Triple H said that she needed to be rewarded for the work that she's done inside of the ring. Of course, everybody knows as being one of the top diva tag teams that go out there against the Bellas, that go out there against the Funkadactyls. Anybody who needs a match was having a tag team match against Alicia Fox and Oksana. It seems that team isn't going at it anymore. I was lucky enough to see them wrestle on 2 different house shows in, when was that? December and in February, I think, is when we went to Stockton and Oakland, and lucky for me, Alicia was on both of those shows. She is one of my favorites, but how she backed into becoming the #1 contender is one of the worst, ways to become the #1 contender I've ever seen in the history of wrestling. Basically, she came out there on Monday and she had a match on Raw against Paige, and she lost. And then she threw a temper tantrum, one that everyone talked about all over the internet. And basically made Alicia Fox a much bigger name that, she's been in a really, really long time. But then you brought her back for main event on the next night, live on the network, and she loses to Emma. And then she has another flip out. You bring her back for her last chance to be on television before Payback, and you put her in a rematch against Emma. And she loses again. So let me get this straight. From Extreme Rules to Payback, she's been on TV 3 times, and she's lost 3 matches. What did she do to become the #1 contender? I have no clue. It's almost like when you look at what's going on over at NXT. NXT, they had Paige. They brought her up. They gave her the Divas Championship on the night she debuted. It makes sense. You have her debut. You don't want to have her on NXT to lose. There's not a huge number of crossover people that watch NXT and watch Raw and SmackDown. But for those people who do, you don't want to see Paige lose. I don't understand why you didn't want to have her go out there, maybe lose a match against Charlotte, an up-and-coming heel that they have down there. Maybe you do the whole cheat to win sort of thing. Well, that's Eddie Guerrero, and his daughter doesn't work there anymore. But, I'm talking about Ric Flair. Ric Flair, he'll cheat to win all day long, even though that's sort of Eddie's gimmick. But, then she can become a Divas Championship. Maybe they wanted to have a big push for this big pay-per-view that they're having, NXT TakeOver. Maybe that they thought the Divas Championship tournament would get them to the point. But the reason why Paige got stripped on NXT was because they said she became a WWE diva, and that due to her ongoing schedule, she wasn't going to be able to compete for NXT anymore. So they put together a tournament of girls to go after the NXT Divas Championship that consisted of Natalya and Alicia Fox, both members of the full-time roster, who must be 2 steps ahead of everyone in NXT and have so much free time that they're able to still compete on Raw and SmackDown and go to NXT and at the same time fulfill their Total Divas. Obviously, Natalya has more things to do with Total Divas than Alicia Fox does, but she does have her show that she does every night, but she wraps up after Total Divas on Sunday. I still need to go back and watch last week's episode. But I know that Paige is going to be booked as the next coming of, of Jesus to Divas wrestlers. It's been a while since we've had a true competitor that can go after the Divas Championship. We finally get Paige that's out there, and we haven't been able to get her rematch against AJ Lee because I guess the story at first is that she was injured and then she was taking time off after her big run as champion. Then it was, she's taking some time off to be with herself because she just got engaged, and now she's taking some more time off because she just got married. At the same time, you got to be wondering if her soon-to-be husband is, pushing her to stay home and, to start a life together, or if he's still saying, just because I'm at home doesn't mean you can't go out and follow your dreams and I'll be here on your days off. I don't know. It's weird. I really didn't think that when Michelle McCool hung it up to, be married to Undertaker, that Michelle McCool was really going to hang it up. I thought by now we would have seen her really just become a full-time wrestler again. It is what it is. But no doubt in my mind, Paige has got to get the win. It's only a matter of when we're finally going to get AJ back, if we ever get her to have that dream sort of matchup. I know that with Paige, more than likely she's going to run through all the heel girls, and maybe then we'll see some matches against like Paige versus Natalya, and maybe Paige versus Naomi, and those will be good matches, but that's going to be a little while. We've seen Paige, fight Oksana 1,000 times. We've seen her now fight Alicia Fox. From here, she'll probably fight Summer Rae. Is Eva a heel, or is she a babyface on TV? I got no clue, but then she'll go to there, and hopefully she just doesn't get lost in the shuffle, much like when a lot of guys win the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time, and they're like the first-time rookie champion. WWE sort of like puts them on the back burner. It seems that Paige, hasn't been really featured in, big segments. But then again, a lot of people really don't know who she is. So maybe the future is out to see what the future for Paige is going to be. But I think before, during, and after Payback, Paige is still going to be the champion. Alicia Fox is still going to be the hottest chick on the roster. And she'll always have my heart.